I think another reason some of those things happen, okay, is the lack of communication. Because what I've understood in my years here is that most of the our nationals, our country members, don't understand the language, but they think what the other person is saying is against them. And instead of taking a step behind, reason over what the discussion is before reacting, they go wild. They go wild and they escalate the whole situation. Meanwhile, you that understand the language, if you get into it and dissect whatever was going, you can see that your brother was at fault. And he will not admit it. That's by the way. So when I go to Italy after Napoli, I go to Reggio Emilia. I worked in a few factories as they were doing tiles. I think I did tiles too. Then I moved to Busurengo, I think in the 92 or thereabout. And I started working the shoe factory. I don't remember, was it? No, Reggio Emilia I stayed about just some few months. So I came to Busurengo, I think in 91. And I started working in the shoe factory. I did shoe factory here, there. I did about 4 years, 3 or 4 years in shoe factory. But one thing that I left out is this one. Those who came to meet then, who had been here from 84, 85, I came to stay with guys that I knew in school, okay? And all of them left books. Okay, they left their books and they were working in the factory. So tell me, you come after them and they are hosting you. They pay the rent, they buy food. Do you think you come and tell them you want to go to school and they will look at you? No. You will definitely have to follow what they do. So most of us, like I was telling you yesterday, most of us abandoned our academic careers just because those who came to meet also at their own time abandoned their own and chose factory over career. That is the trend, and that trend has gone on and on and on. In fact, the church I belong to, which is called DFC, our pastor is one dynamic guy who is trying to, inculcate this mentality into the new guys, especially those guys that happen to come from Libya and stuff, okay, the young ones. It's his policy to try to let the people understand that, no, you don't have to do it the way we did it. No. It mustn't be so. You have document, go to school. And I can tell you, it's working. It's really working. So if we get about 5 out of 50 people go to school, let's say in 2 years, and another set of 10 people out of 50 go to school in another 2 years. So we have, at least in Verona, you might have about 15 people who have gone to school. And if you find them, let's say one working at the post office, one working maybe in the supermarket, okay, that alone, that image will go a long way to change the mentality that we foreigners must always end up in the factory. I know people who have university degrees who ended up in the factory because those who came to stay with never pursued their own, or they never went to school. So they actually curtailed our ambitions and we ended up like that. Something I really don't forgive myself easily. So Verona wasn't hostile to me at all.
I like what you say your pastor is doing.
Yeah,
it's very critical. It's very, very important. When I came to Italy, that was 2004. Actually, on the 24th of August 2004, I still remember. It was in Torino. So the people have come to meet. I see this small group of people. It's Nigerians. Okay, I don't want to say what they were doing, but I told them that I've written a book.
Okay.
They look at me and they felt like I've made the worst mistake in my life to come here.
Okay.
And because they saw the person that I've did the preface of my book.
Mm-hmm.
They said, but even we, because they are older than me, more educated than me in terms of, I will still like look up to them as a kind of senior brothers, as it were, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And they will say, but even we cannot even reach this kind of. We usually see these people talking at the podium. Now you go to meet this person and he's writing a preface for your book, and you are coming to Italy. And they told me, well, I told them that, well, in Italy, I'm still going to write a book. They were laughing.
Mm-hmm.
They said, you are going to J. Maybe you will write it in J. Now, some of them, of course, have their own way of life. And I told them, well, I'm not going to J, and I'm going to write a book in Italy. Indeed, I've written books in Italy, not one, not two. I continuously write books.
Congratulations.
All right. What I want to say there is that in a book written by Napoleon Hill called The Think and Grow Rich, he did make mention of something important called mass psychology.
Okay.
In that, when you meet a group of people, if you live among a group of people, no matter how strong you are, the effect of the people you are living around is going to affect you. That is little you can do about that.
Yeah.
It is safer for you to leave that cycle. Because the mass psychology, the way the people think around you, is going to affect you. So since I'll be here, I'll be very careful of the kind of friends that I keep. It is deliberate. I know this, that whoever I'm dealing with is going to affect me. So what I really mean by that is that as a people, we need to know that if we want something to change, perhaps we are the one that really must change. So I want to say again, what that pastor was saying is proposing is something very important. We must help the people and let them also understand that the people they are associated with have a lot of influence on them. Now, what about the organization of the society, the people that you meet? How did you manage to organize yourself? Because I can see now that you have grown. You have really grown a lot, no? Yes. From where you came from. Okay, I can understand also. You see, most of the people that are here, sometimes, some of them are illiterate. Yeah. They don't understand how to read and write, and this limits them from able to process the information they have in front of them.
Yes.
So, and in most of the cases, because like the adage has it, that the empty coins make the loudest noise, because they are the ones that are making more noise in the society. They sort of represent everybody. Yeah. And those who are enlightened, who probably could have been able to stand in front and speak for the rest, sometimes maybe they feel ashamed, or maybe they don't take the bull by the horn, and those empty vessels sort of represent everybody. Yeah. But people that know what they want, who have a semblance of light, we might call it, must not fall into the same cycle. Because if you fall into the same cycle, very soon, your resistance will be broken. So tell me about those people that you meet, how the system is organized, because now you're going to have to eat, you are going to have to go to church to worship, you are going to have to meet people. So tell me about that.
Yeah, so I was living with these guys in Busolengo, and great people, great workers. The lifestyle was work and home. So, and there were a group of friends that would come, eating, drinking, that stuff. But practically the major life they were leading was work and home. Okay. So another time, like I told you before, the mentality was, just as you said, you follow the one you came to meet. So unconsciously, you will fall into it. But my luck was that just around our house, a 5-minute walk distance, we had a church. The present church I worship now, was then started, and it was called Soul Clinic. That's the clinic for the soul. And it actually did a very great job.